Do you know what name Xiaoyan gave to the new world he pieced together? Continuing from before, at the moment, Kai Lin's voice fell within the first fragment world. Two figures stood suspended high in the sky. They were none other than Long Yuan and the Heavenly Emperor, who had been waiting for several days. Ever since Xiaoyan left, 4 days had already passed. During this time, the Heavenly Emperor had also learned many ancient secrets from Long Yuan. As the two conversed, another day passed. On the 5th day, Long Yuan's expression suddenly changed slightly, and his gaze turned toward the void ahead. There, a black-robed figure slowly stepped out from a spatial passage. "Sorry to have kept you waiting." After appearing, Xiaoyan directly arrived beside Long Yuan and the Heavenly Emperor and spoke. Seeing this, Long Yuan quickly asked, "How is it? Can those fragment worlds be merged?" "There's no problem. The Great Fusion actually began 3 days ago." Hearing this, Long Yuan continued, "Then what should we do next?" "Wait here for all fragment worlds to merge, move those in the safe worlds over here, and finally merge the remaining dozens of fragments into this place." This time Xiaoyan did not answer. Instead, he waved his sleeve, bringing the two of them up into the deep sky millions of miles high. And what happened next gave them their answer. The entire world space began to collapse. Cracks filled heaven and earth. The land and oceans vanished in an instant, replaced by endless magma. Even the sky was dyed crimson. The scene of the Great Fusion unfolded before their eyes. Such a sight would be described by ordinary people as world-destroying catastrophe. However, in Xiaoyan's eyes, it was completely different. What they saw was not destruction, but the rebirth that would follow it. When everything gradually settled down after this great cleansing, the newborn world before them could already be called the second-generation Do-Chi world, and Xiaoyan and the other two were the witnesses to its birth. Under such anticipation, destruction and rebirth continued to play out. Day 4 of the Great Fusion. Nearly 100 fragment worlds completed their merging. Day 5. Aside from about 50 medium and small fragment worlds, along with 42 safe worlds and the second fragment world, all others had already merged into the first fragment world. Day 6. Those 50 fragment worlds merged together first. Then the second fragment world merged with the first. Day 7. Except for the final 42 safe worlds, all fragment worlds had completed their fusion. On the second day, after the Great Fusion was completed, in the deep sky above this magma world, Xiaoyan, Long Yuan, and the Heavenly Emperor stood in the air, their hearts filled with excitement as they looked at the world before them. Long Yuan spoke. "The ancient Dao-Chi world can basically be considered reborn. I have a suggestion. Would you like to hear it?" "Senior Long Yuan, please speak." "I believe that this world now should be regarded as an entirely new world. As a new beginning, perhaps we should give it a new name." Hearing this, Xiaoyan was slightly startled. "Rename it." "Then what do the two seniors think it should be called?" Long Yuan smiled. "You are the plain lord of this new world. Naturally, the naming should be decided by you." The Heavenly Emperor also nodded. "I share the same view as Patriarch Long Yuan." Hearing this, Xiaoyan did not refuse. He lowered his head slightly and thought for a moment. Then he raised his head with a faint smile. The will of the old Do-Chi world must still be inherited, so the word Dao should remain. And to strengthen this newly born world, I am considering converting Do-Chi into spiritual power for cultivation. Therefore this new world shall be called Do-Domain. As Xiaoyan's calm voice echoed, the magma-covered world trembled slightly as if responding to his naming. However, Long Yuan and the Heavenly Emperor reacted differently. They exchanged a glance. Long Yuan asked in confusion, "You just said you want to convert the world's power into spiritual power." He was clearly surprised. After all, he had never heard of cultivating spiritual power in such a way. Xiaoyan explained, "Directly converting all Do-Chi into spiritual power is not feasible. The difficulty of such assimilation is not something all beings from lower planes can withstand." Xiaoyan knew, although this world was now largely complete as the original Do-Chi plane due to spatial expansion, Its peak strength had reached a level comparable to Earth Supreme. The plane's limits had increased, becoming stronger than before. However, even so, the strength of Dao Qi in this newborn world still had a noticeable gap compared to the spiritual power of the great thousand world. Long Yuan said, "As for spiritual power assimilation, the lower plane alliances are the most proficient in that. After this, you can consult them for solutions. As far as I know, among the major alliances, the one best at studying plane space is the Great Qian Alliance." Hayan nodded. "I will go take a look." Then his gaze once again turned toward the new world. "But before that, we still have some matters to handle. Although I have already gathered all the safe worlds, we cannot let them remain in such crowded conditions." Long Yuan asked, "Do you have a way to restore a habitable environment in a short time?" "There is a way. But first I need to subdue that flame." Xiao Yan looked at the magma world and said, "During the fusion earlier, I already sensed its existence. And as the world expanded, it has grown stronger and stronger. That flame should be the primal flame ranked on the 100 million flame rankings of the Great Thousand World." "What? The primal flame?" Long Yuan was instantly shocked. What kind of concept was the primal flame? As a heavenly supreme expert, how could he not know? Legend has it, the primal flame is the companion flame born alongside the Great Thousand World itself. In terms of power, it ranks fourth on the 100 million flame rankings. Even upper-level heavenly supreme experts find it difficult to contend with it. However, the primal flame has one unique trait. Its lifespan is extremely short. At most, it can exist for 1,000 years, or even less than 100. This is its greatest difference from other heavenly flames. Other heavenly flames require long periods of accumulation, but the primal flame is born with the world itself, requiring no buildup of energy. Yet its flaw is precisely that. If no one subdues it within a few hundred years after the world's birth, it will dissipate back into heaven and earth. When he saw that his attack had little effect, Xiao Yan could only shake his head with a bitter smile. For some reason, ever since the author changed, he couldn't act cool anymore. Continuing from before, legend has it that the primal flame is closely tied to some ancient mysteries of the Great Thousand World. In the current Great Thousand World, the primal flame did not extinguish at the moment of its birth, but was preserved by some mysterious force. It is precisely because of this that it ranks fourth on the 100 million flame rankings. However, the problem lies here. At the birth of the Great Thousand World, there were no living beings at all. So who preserved the primal flame? Even the ancient God clan and the myriad spirit God clan do not know the answer. And now Xiao Yan was saying that a primal flame had been born in the newly formed Dou domain. This was simply impossible. Seeing Long Yuan's shocked expression, Xiao Yan said, "The primal flame born here should follow a similar principle to that of the Great Thousand World. But in terms of strength, it probably doesn't even reach a fraction of that one. From my observation, although it cannot enter the top 10 of the 100 million flame rankings, it should already be around the top 40, and its lifespan may be less than 10 years. Hearing this explanation, Long Yuan asked, "I see. Could it be that every world gives birth to a primal flame when it is created?" "Possibly." As Xiao Yan spoke, his gaze locked onto the endless magma ocean below. "If we want the Dou domain to recover a livable environment within a few years, we will need this primal flame. Then how do we subdue it?" Long Yuan asked again, because at this moment he could not sense where the primal flame was at all. Hearing this, Xiao Yan smiled slightly. His figure slowly drifted forward until he hovered at the very center of the Dou domain. Looking around, he muttered, "It's been a long time since I used this move. I wonder if it will work here." As his voice fell, a flame-shaped sigil suddenly appeared on his forehead. It was the heavenly flame summoning order from the former Du Qi world. Immediately, a pressure like that of a flame emperor spread outward. At the same time, a cold voice rang out from Xiao Yan's mouth. "I am the emperor of all flames. By the command of the summoning order, I order you to submit to me. Reveal yourself." As his voice echoed across the world, the entire heaven and earth trembled. After dozens of breaths, a terrifyingly scorching fluctuation suddenly erupted from the depths of the magma. Seeing this, a smile appeared on Xiaoyan's face. Under their watch, the magma world below suddenly bulged upward like a massive bubble. On the now flattened magma ocean, this constantly expanding magma bubble became the most eye-catching existence. When it fully rose out of the magma sea and floated in mid-air, its size reached hundreds of thousands of zhang, even causing Xiaoyan to show a trace of surprise. He had originally thought the primal flame would be similar to other heavenly flames, but he never expected it to have such a structure. At this moment, the primal flame began to emit a buzzing sound. It seemed like a response to Xiaoyan's summons, but in reality, this buzzing was an evaporation effect. Each sound meant its internal energy was dissipating at a constant rate. This was also the reason for its extremely short lifespan. Xiaoyan frowned deeply. He had no idea how to refine this primal flame. Previously, when facing other heavenly flames, thanks to the flame mantra, he only needed to draw them into his body and refine them along specific meridian routes. But now, how should this primal flame be refined? Let's just try. After a moment, Xiaoyan decided there was no use overthinking. Better to act directly. His figure appeared opposite the magma giant bubble. A dazzling heavenly flame burst out from within his body. Now the strength of his flame was already enough to rank within the top 40 of the 100 million flame rankings. Behind him, a gigantic radiant flame lotus spanning tens of thousands of zhang formed. I want to see whether your flame is stronger or my Emperor Lotus. The Emperor Lotus was the massive destruction flame lotus behind him. Go. With Xiaoyan's cold shout, the Emperor Lotus shot toward the primal flame. Explode. In the sky, an extremely terrifying destructive fluctuation spread instantly. Even before the full power was released, the space within hundreds of thousands of zhang had already collapsed. What followed was a massive explosion comparable to the collision of a small fragment world. Seeing this, even the Heavenly Emperor's body trembled slightly. He and Long Yuan immediately looked toward the center of the explosion. After the blast, the magma bubble had been reduced to only 1/1,000,000th of its original size, and that remaining portion was its true core. However, to their shock, although the bubble had shrunk drastically, its aura had not weakened much at all. In other words, Xiaoyan's attack had basically been useless. On the other side, Xiaoyan was equally stunned. Ever since the author changed, he really couldn't show off anymore. He could only smile bitterly. But at that moment, the magma bubble suddenly emitted an intense buzzing sound. After shrinking to 1/1,000,000th its size, the rate of its energy evaporation suddenly increased 1,000,000 times. Xiaoyan did not realize. At this rate, the magma bubble would completely evaporate within a few hours. And at that time, the so-called primal flame would completely disappear. This scene naturally caught Xiaoyan's attention. He had no idea what was happening. In his mind, he could only interpret the surge in energy as a sign of self-destruction. Just as he was worrying, a voice ancient beyond measure suddenly echoed in his mind. "Kid, you need to hurry. This is not self-destruction, it is evaporation." Hearing this, Xiaoyan's heart trembled. His gaze immediately swept across the surroundings, trying to find the source. "Stop looking. I am speaking to you from the Great Thousand World 1,000,000,000 miles away." The Great Thousand World. Who are you? Xiaoyan's expression turned serious. If what this person said was true, then how terrifying must his strength be to communicate across such a distance? Even ordinary heavenly supreme experts could not achieve this. "I am someone who can help you subdue that flame." Of course, person is just a term you humans use. The ancient voice sounded again. "To make you believe me, you may name anything, and I will accomplish it for you." Xiaoyan fell silent, as if thinking. After a few breaths, he pointed at the magma bubble ahead and said, "Remove its outer shell and leave only a size of 100 zhang." When Xiaoyan heard the term small thousand world, he was immediately stunned. This was the first time he had ever heard of such a place. Could it be that the small thousand world was a part of the Great Thousand World? Continuing from before, At the moment Xiaoyan's words fell, the magma giant bubble before him suddenly exploded. What remained was only a dark red glowing sphere, its size less than 1,000th of the original. How is that possible? Xiaoyan was filled with shock. He had not expected that what he said would actually come true. Be careful. As the sphere shrinks, its evaporation accelerates. At its current state, it has about 30 seconds of life remaining. At that moment, the ancient voice sounded again. Hearing this, Xiaoyan hurriedly asked, "What conditions do you have for helping me subdue it?" "Of course there are conditions. But don't rush. Although it only has about 20 seconds left, time can be adjusted. There's no need to worry." The ancient voice echoed in his mind. "I have slowed down its evaporation. In other words, these next few dozen seconds are equivalent to 3 days for you." As the voice fell, the rate at which the dark red sphere released energy visibly slowed down, as if time itself had been stretched thousands of times. Seeing this, Xiaoyan was utterly shocked. He could not imagine what kind of existence could manipulate time itself. "Quickly subdue this flame," the ancient voice urged. "How do I do it?" Xiaoyan asked. The voice replied, "Its core is only about 10 jang in size. You must strip away its outer shell. The remaining core has an extremely high temperature, tens of thousands of times stronger than all your flames. Combined, tens of thousands of times." Xiaoyan's expression changed. "How could such heat be refined?" "Use your supreme dharma body. Since it is based on flame and magma, it will not be damaged here." Hearing this suggestion, Xiaoyan nodded, then asked, "You're helping me. Like this, the price must be high, right?" "Haha. Little one, after you finish refining it, I will tell you. You will only understand everything once you arrive at that place." Hearing this, Xiaoyan no longer hesitated. The heavenly flame within his body surged out instantly, forming a 10,000 jang supreme dharma body. "Deflame!" With a low shout, a dazzling multicolored flame erupted from the flame emperor body, quickly forming a massive flame prison that trapped the dark red sphere, the companion flame of the Du domain. At the same time, Xiaoyan raised his hand and directly fed the flame prison into the flame emperor body like swallowing a pill. Refine it with the flame mantra. Under his control, the enormous flame emperor body sat cross-legged in the sky like a giant cultivating. After dozens of minutes, a new magma bubble appeared floating in the air. It was the fusion of the companion flame and the flame emperor body. Although Xiaoyan could not yet directly extract its inner power, he had successfully taken the first step. As the fusion completed, the magma ocean below surged upward like a tide flooding into the flame emperor body. After dozens of breaths, a hundreds of thousands Zhang supreme dharma body appeared between heaven and earth. From afar, it looked like a creator god. Flames formed its cloak, its head reached the sky, and its feet stood upon the magma earth. At its heart was a dark red magma core, tens of thousands of Zhang in size. Seeing this, Xiaoyan smiled. Then under his control, the massive flame emperor body began to shrink. When it condensed to only 100 Zhang, its radiance increased countless times, and its strength rose to an entirely new level. This was no longer the original flame emperor body. The terrifying temperature that could melt space and the supreme pressure that shook heaven and earth were enough to push this supreme dharma body into the top 20 of the 99 supreme dharma bodies, perhaps even the top 15. Xiaoyan took a deep breath. Using the companion flame as the heart of the dharma body had only been a hypothesis, yet it actually succeeded, and quite smoothly at that. However, the heavenly flame and the companion flame had not truly fused. At most, they existed in a symbiotic state. Although Xiaoyan had a way to fully merge them, he preferred to let them gradually integrate naturally, because when that happened, their power would multiply and might even enter the top 20 of the 100 million flame rankings. Fusing countless extreme flames of heaven and earth, this is somewhat similar to the supreme dharma body of the world-destroying being. The ancient voice sounded again. "Flame spirit, heavenly sovereign, is he from the flame spirit clan?" Xiaoyan asked curiously. Back in the Central Heaven continent, he had obtained a jade slip from the great elder of the ancient Heaven Python clan. From it he learned that Tuoshe, ancient god Tuoshe, ancient emperor, was now in the Flame Spirit clan, serving as their clan's divine flame. After restoring the Do-Chi world, Xiao planned to visit the Flame Spirit clan. If Tuoshe wished to remain there, he would not interfere. But if Tuoshe intended to return, no matter how the Flame Spirit clan resisted, Xiao would bring him back. Flame Spirit, Heavenly Sovereign, was the clan leader of the Flame Spirit clan tens of thousands of years ago. Among Heavenly Supreme experts, he was also considered outstanding. He mastered the 5th-ranked Supreme Dharma body, the True Flame body. But after he fell in the world-destroying war, the True Flame body was destroyed by the extraterritorial races. The ancient voice explained, "Your Supreme Dharma body has the potential to replace it." Xiao smiled non-committally, then asked, "By the way, what about the condition you mentioned and that place?" "Little one, that is no ordinary place. You must be prepared. For tens of thousands of years, you may be the first Earth Supreme to reach it. Normally, even Heavenly Supreme experts cannot tear through spatial barriers to get there." Hearing this, Xiao was surprised. Could it be the extraterritorial domain? The extraterritorial domain? That filthy place cannot compare to a sacred land. Then what place is it? Xiao grew even more curious. The ancient voice slowly said, "That place is the Small Thousand World." The Small Thousand World. Xiao froze again. He knew of the Great Thousand World, but this was his first time hearing of the Small Thousand World. Could it be a part of the Great Thousand World? The ancient voice seemed to see through his thoughts. The Small Thousand World does not belong to the Great Thousand World, nor to lower planes, nor to the extraterritorial domains. But only those who surpass the Heavenly Supreme level would know. At the center of the 3 worlds, there exists an even greater world. I call it the Domain World. All of them are merely parts of that Domain World. Xiao asked again, "Does the Small Thousand World really exist? Why do you want me to go there?" This time, the ancient voice did not answer directly. Instead, it asked, "You don't actually know the origin of the fire attribute cultivation technique you practice, do you?"